Project managers often have to make a presentation. We report on progress, we brief on a project status, and we pitch to change control panels. These are your chances to showcase your insight, your authority, and your expertise. Yet, you will do none of this unless you are able to demonstrate a real presence in the room. So, here are 10 ways to command your audience's attention. Before I start describing how to get presence, let's understand what I mean by the term presence. For me, presence is that characteristic that makes your audience vividly aware of you. It's about grabbing their attention and holding onto it so that other people and other features seem to fade into the background. Your presence should place you in sharp focus for your audience. So here are 10 ways to get presence. Number 1, own the room. Before you start speaking, take your place and pause. Use the time to survey the room, to get a feeling of who's there and what's going on. Take your time. Wait for everybody to notice that you are ready to start speaking. And only start speaking when you have their full attention. This has 3 positive benefits. It shows your confidence, it puts you in control, and it means that people will hear what you've got to say because you have their attention before you start speaking. Number 2, open powerfully. Plan and rehearse a powerful opening. There are many ways to construct an opening that will grab your audience's attention and hold it. I've created a checklist of 20 of these for my book, How to Speak So People Listen, so I'll put a link to that in the description. Number 3, choose your words. In a recent video, I gave examples of words which create a strong impact on people. And again, I'll put a link to that in the description too. The basic rule, however, is to keep your words simple, short, and concrete. Avoid uncommon, long, or abstract words unless you're using them for a particular purpose. Maybe you want to emphasize them and make them stand out. And certainly, you should define any complex words for your audience to make sure that nobody feels left behind. Number 4, make patterns. Centuries of the art of rhetoric, that is, how to construct memorable phrases and speeches, have given way to the craft of the 140-character sentence. So, because schools no longer teach rhetoric, we need to study the art for ourselves. Become familiar with the rhythms and the patterns of language and how they impact listeners. Learn to contrast the light with the dark, to use the rhythm of threes, and to end with a punch. Number 5, stand upright. Posture doesn't just affect how you look, it also changes the sound that comes out of our mouths. And a good posture presents a more imposing presence. It opens your chest out and allows you to speak with a stronger, more authoritative voice. Number 6, control your voice. Of all the many aspects of your voice that you can control, like timbre, locus, or rhythm, 3 things really dominate: pitch, pace, and volume. lower pitch conveys more authority. So take a deep breath and stand tall. Pace is a means to create variety and interest. Slow down to make things more important. Speed up to give your speech more energy and vitality. Volume is often misunderstood. Paradoxically, if I speak quietly, people pay more attention. If what I've got to say is compelling, then when I speak quietly, they mentally lean in to hear more clearly what I'm saying. So, emphasize your important points by pausing, leaning in, slowing down, and dropping the volume a notch. Number 7, don't compete. Don't try to compete with other conversations. Just look at the people concerned and wait for them to notice you. Don't try to compete with visual aids. Learn how to work with them so that they enhance what you're saying rather than detract from it. Fancy visuals are great, but never forget that you are the star of your presentation. And don't compete with waiting staff, fire engines, or other distractions. When you become aware of them, pause and wait for them to pass. Number 8, create silence. The person who is most confident with silence will have control over a conversation. And if you are a presenter or speaker and are confident with silence, then you can really hold a room. Use silence well, and it will create a presence all of its own that will cling to the person who created and controls that silence. Number 9, pace and stand. Pace around or stand still? It's your choice, really. What is important is that before you make an important point, conclusion, request, or an insight, stop. The transition from movement to stillness will signal that what you're about to say is important and that your audience should pay more attention. And by standing still, you can better control the way that you project your voice and convey your message to your audience. Number 10, know when to stop. When you've said everything and closed your presentation, there is nothing more to say. Please do give this video a like if you've learned from it or enjoyed it. I'll be making loads more project management videos for you, so please do subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of them. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.